What's going on, everybody? It's Matt, aka the Lumberjack Landlord. I get it. You're just like, hey, why am I getting another late night video from the Lumberjack? Here's why. Mrs. Lumberjack decided to retire early, and so that left me to my own devices and doing my homework as I tend to do. I'm actually checking out and reading more articles. We all know this is super dangerous, but when you couple that with some bad YouTube videos from Meet Kevin, this is what happens. So Meet Kevin is clearly chasing headlines now, because I'm reading this article and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of interesting. I'm talking about an article that Bloomberg came out today with regarding Lennar Homes. Now, Lennar is a national home builder. They focus really kind of in the southern part of the US, east, west. But long story short is their typical price home is about $491,000. Again, all credit to Bloomberg for exposing this craziness. So anyway, we're sitting here looking at this. I'm reading this, and then all of a sudden I get an alert from Meet Kevin. Yeah, I follow him. Every once in a while he has something interesting to say. But this chasing headline stuff is getting pretty old. FTX, anybody? But let's talk about this, especially from somebody that took so much money from FTX, but I digress. So as we look at this situation, here's what it really is. From an only real estate guy, that's where I live my life. Only real estate. That's all I'm ever really going to talk about. So when we look at this situation that we're going to have with Lennar right now, they're putting in, get this, 5,000 homes that they can't sell. They're trying to sell to investors. 5,000 homes. Oh no, what are we ever going to do with 5,000 homes? Everybody, let's put this in perspective. Last year, we sold, as in the country, we sold about 7.5 million homes. It ranges just below that to just above that, depending on whose numbers you actually believe and how they count them and all that good stuff. 7.5 million homes. Would anybody like to do some quick math to figure out how many homes a day that is? Yep, I did the quick math, but I did it up here. It's about 20,000 homes a day. 20,000 a day. Yeah, that's right. 20,000 a day. And he's throwing this conniption fit about 5,000 homes. Entire developments are being sold off in one fell swoop. BFD, who cares? This is not even going to move the needle unless all 5,000 homes are put on the market on exactly the same day in the same area. It's not even going to move the needle. Guys, you have to take everything in stride and look at all of the information that's out there. Here's all the information. We sold last year about 20,000 homes a day. A day. Right now, at a little over a 4 million clip, we're still selling about 12,000, 13,000 homes a day. 5,000. We're freaking out about 5,000. We're chasing headlines for 5,000. Guys, please, if you are interested in being in the real estate market, consume the data, but make sure that there's checks and balances in place so you understand what it actually is going to mean to the market. Do you think 5,000 homes, right? That's an alarming number. Anyone hears 5,000 anything, and you're like, 5,000, that's a lot. But when we're talking about 5,000 spread across the southern part of the states, southeast, southwest, and we're talking about them basically contacting investors like myself, but actually probably quite a bit bigger, and saying, would you like to buy this development of land? It's already, if these houses are already done, or they're going to be done in this time and we'll give you this much of a discount. Guys, this is so what happens when markets shift. This is a shift in the market, yes. But does it mean Armageddon? Does it mean chaos is about to ensue? Guys, it's 5,000 homes. Do you know how many homes are typically on the market in some of these bigger markets? 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 are inventory in single city markets. Vegas, 7,000 or 8,000. Phoenix, 7,000 or 8,000. These are the numbers that we're talking about. And it's not like these 5,000 are all coming on board in this one place. Come on. Be better than this, guys. If people are going to continue to watch this stuff online, then they're going to get the result that they deserve. You need to look at all of these numbers that are constantly getting pumped out, and you need to look at them in context. When people say foreclosures are up 700%, foreclosure starts. What people in the business know is that only about 20 to 25% of homes that go and start a foreclosure finish a foreclosure. That's a real number. When you look at the fact that a foreclosure typically takes at least a year, if not 2. Guys, there's nothing happening fast about this market. Transactions fell off a cliff, just like I called that they would. The pricing in some areas is starting to come down. But you can read one site after another, and they will flat out tell you, yeah, you know, my market hasn't really gone down a whole lot. Houses below the median price really haven't slowed down in most markets. That's a fact. And I love it when people share what's actually occurring in their market in the comments section. So if you're seeing something different in your market, talk about it. Because one of the things all these national guys forget is that real estate is hyper local. Think about it like it's weather. The fact that it's beautiful and 65 degrees in San Diego has nothing to do with the fact that it's 26 degrees where I am right now. It has nothing to do with each other. And the real estate largely is disconnected like that. It's really, truly hyper local. That's why you can buy a shack in New York City for $1.2 million, and here that gets you a pretty impressive house. So everybody needs to be better understanding to take these things into context. These crazy foreclosure start numbers, it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. There's going to be a ton of workout deals that happen over a year or 2 years. Not to mention plenty of those homes, you guessed it, have a ton of equity in them. A ton. So as we continue to look at these numbers, don't be overly dramatized and traumatized by all of these big names that are literally just chasing a headline for the next thing that they can get 50,000 or 100,000 views on, when they're calling out something that in the grand scheme of things is a blip on the radar. 5,000 homes is nothing. Nationally, we sell about 11 or 12,000 homes a day. 11 to 12,000 a day. And they're talking about one builder, 5,000 homes that's doing this in an orchestrated fashion. They're not fire selling these homes. They're not. They're not taking 30 cents on the dollar. Then we might have something to talk about. They're looking to do this in an organized fashion with investors because let's face it, just like Wall Street calls, just like when Wall Street calls, the people that are sitting there day trading and the people that are sitting there doing this type of work, at home, and I'm trying to day trade. That's why most of those retail investors lose. The smart money is always in the investors because they know all of the different pieces that come into play here. So I'm a fan of Meet Kevin's. I'm hoping that we can stop ambulance chasing with a lot of these terms because I think it's just pure silliness. Put it in perspective of what 5,000 volume actually is, all of the different markets, because it didn't give all of that detail on all the different markets that 5,000 is comprised of. So I would just like to make sure that everybody pumps the brakes and has an absolutely fantastic Friday night. But hey, let me know in the comments below. And if you get silly or stupid, I'm more than happy to oblige because I got time. So I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic Friday night and an even better weekend. And we'll catch you 11:30 a.m. on the live stream. P.S. By the way, Simon, Uneducated Economist, came out with a phenomenal video tonight that just shows how far ahead he is of the standard economists. I encourage you to go watch that on Real Estate Crash. I think he did a phenomenal job in that video. So definitely go check that out. Guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.